members of our association. Without you, there would be no convention to attend. But there is another group that has made a huge and everlasting impact on our hobby by their continued support of our convention. I am, of course, speaking of our corporate sponsors. This year, they have gone above and beyond. Sponsorships have come in many forms and are not just limited to cash awards for our Best in Show program. This year's sponsorship total, in all, is right at $80,000. Unfortunately, I know they're not all in the showroom, but anybody that's got a banner in the hallway or has a booth, they are our corporate sponsors. Please stop by and thank them. Those who are here, please stand. Without these sponsors, our show would not be the grand event that it is. Now, before we get to our Best in Show judging, the dedication poster, you saw that coming in. Each year, our convention is dedicated to an individual or individuals who have left an impact on our hobby. For the 100th ARBA convention, we thought it fitting to dedicate this year's convention to you, the members. But to arrive at this exact place, at this exact moment in time, we must follow in the footsteps of our past ARBA members. So this year's convention is dedicated to all ARBA members, past and present.
In the next few minutes, you will be transported back to the humble beginnings of the American Rabbit Breeders Association. This organization, consisting of over 20,000 members, is dedicated to supporting the exhibition, promotion, care, and registration system for the focus of this 100th Best in Show ceremony, the domestic rabbit and cavy. These animals are the reason we are all gathered here today. But first, a brief side trip to the unusual events that brought rabbits to the attention of the American public all the way back in 1898. It's important to note that there was not an all-breed association prior to 1910, and that most rabbits in the U.S. were children's pets. Belgian hares were created in Europe by selectively breeding domestic rabbits with wild European rabbits. They were introduced in the U.S. in 1888 and quickly gained popularity, commanding high prices. They were showcased at specialty shows and even exhibited by P.T. Barnum at Madison Square Gardens. The 1901 Belgian hare boom ended as supply exceeded demand. It led to showcasing new breeds and the creation of the first all-breed rabbit association in the U.S. In 1910, Charles Gibson and 13 small animal enthusiasts formed the National Pet Stock Association of America in Detroit, Michigan. The association included pets such as rabbits, guinea pigs, mice, and skunks. Also present at this initial meeting was Oscar Sutton, who was 10 years old at the time and remained a member of the association until his death in 1991. In a relatively short time, it became apparent that the primary focus of the Pet Stock Association was on breeding and exhibiting rabbits and cavies. As a result, in 1981, the name was changed to the National Breeders and Fanciers Association of America, the NBFAA. In 1919, due to conflict among members, the NBFAA split into two associations, the Old National and the New National. In 1923, the New National's company logo featured the slogan, "Rabbits for meat, rabbits for fur," marking a shift towards commercial rabbit farming. In 1924, the rift between clubs was mended, and the two merged and changed their name to the American Rabbit and Cavy Breeders Association, the AR and CBA. In 1925, AR and CBA merged and grew under Secretary Arthur Weygand's leadership. Weygand established a national office in the Chicago home, designed the Rabbit Meat logo, and created a guidebook. He served as secretary for 20 years, but retired in 1943 due to a paralytic stroke. Annual conventions were held during those early years, with one of the first being held in 1918 in Chicago. From 1926 onward, conventions became truly national and began to be held in locations throughout the U.S. The early rabbit raising industry had a commercial focus with ads for large rabbitries, filling journals. A magazine called Outdoor Enterprise by Edward Stahl was one of the first rabbit magazines. A backyard rabbitry industry also emerged to meet the rabbits for the family table demand. Businesses supported this trend by selling cages, crocks, rabbits, and rabbit medicine. The U.S. Department of Agriculture also promoted rabbits as a healthy source of meat, as well as for fur and laboratory use. Edward Stahl held many offices in the AR and CPA from the late 20s into the 30s. He had the largest commercial rabbitry in the U.S., having large operations in Missouri and New York. He also developed the giant chinchilla breed. After World War I, rabbit farms were profitable in the U.S., and Americans consumed a lot of rabbit meat. Now, rabbit meat is mostly consumed in high-end restaurants. Post-war, wearing fur was common, unlike today. The first Best in Show presentation occurred at the Chicago Convention in 1932, where Edward Stahl went with his giant chinchilla. There was a disagreement among some of the exhibitors about the meat, reportedly resulting in a fistfight. A Best in Show was not held again until 1971. In 1948, with the help of donations from members of local rabbit clubs, the first national headquarters was purchased for $15,500 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. National conventions were not held during a few of the World War II years, for 1942, 1944, and 1945. James M. Blythe served as ARBA secretary from 1946 to 1972. During his tenure, he oversaw the establishment of many uniquely American rabbit breeds, such as New Zealand, Palomino, and Satin. In 1954, ARBA changed its name from AR and CPA and dropped the word cavy from its name. It was the focus on the rabbits with their meat and fur that led the decision makers at the time to drop the word cavy, although they remained a part of the organization. With the retirement of James Blythe in 1972, Ed Pfeiffer was recruited as secretary, and the association headquarters moved to his hometown of Bloomington, Illinois. Under his tenure, the association membership grew to 33,000, and the number of sanctioned shows increased exponentially. Association activities were modernized into the computer age with the printing of promotional materials done in-house. The first domestic rabbit magazine was launched in 1973 by editor Bob Bennett, replacing the ARBA Bulletin. Best in Show returned in 1971 with the Silver Martin receiving the honor, exhibited by Ellsworth Tibbetts. In 1974, the Katie Best in Show program was added, and Don and Elaine Kirk won with an American. In the 70s, ARBA's youth membership program, implemented under President Orrin Reynolds, drove a significant increase in membership. Youth members had adult privileges except voting, and enjoyed expanded programs like the loyalty contest and team competition. This marked a major milestone in ARBA's history by emphasizing the importance of involving youth in hobbies and activities. In the 70s and 80s, new fancy rabbit breeds like Netherland Dorp, Holland Lop, Mini Lop, and Mini Rex were introduced. These smaller breeds attracted a new wave of enthusiasts to ARBA, including women and youth exhibitors previously underrepresented in the adult male-dominated hobby. In the mid-80s, Secretary Glenn Carr and President Dr. T. E. Reed boosted membership to an all-time high. Carr served as secretary, or what we now know as the executive director, for 22 years, overseeing the implementation of computerized systems for membership management and standardized reward programs. In 1986, the Standard of Perfection was published for the first time with color pictures. The ARBA Hall of Fame Library was established in Bloomington, Illinois during the 1990s. It was created by the Library Committee, led by Ellie Bondi, to preserve our history. The library's resources have been expertly organized and preserved to educate rabbit enthusiasts. The images in this video were sourced from the library's archives. The present-day library in Knox, Pennsylvania is a beautiful place to explore our hobby's history. The 2008 ARBA convention in Louisville, Kentucky hosted a whopping 23,076 rabbits and cavies, beating the previous record by a few thousand. The Best in Show program became a spectacle in the 90s to 2000s, with grand stage productions showcasing the winners. Ebert Fibber McGehee holds the record for most Best in Show wins, 4 times. Tex Thomas, Bagby, and Zeller each won 3 times. Peggy Fry won 4 consecutive Best in Show cavie awards in the early 80s, with alternating silky and Peruvian cavies. Our roots are incomplete without our passion, rabbits and cavies. They grace our magazines, social media, and are the standard of perfection. Best in Show rabbits were not regularly picked until 1971. Eric Stewart, ARBA's executive director for 14 years, along with ARBA presidents of the most recent decades, have made significant strides in the digital age with the ARBA app, webpage, and a digital standard of perfection. For the exhibitor, there is now online show entry, computerized pedigrees, and herd management. Social media platforms have also been established for networking and recognizing show accomplishments. Eric Stewart helped select and acquire the association's 4th headquarters in Knox, Pennsylvania, a beautifully restored former general store in the 1890s. Today, it's the ARBA Museum in the library, containing mementos and displays that tell the story of the rabbit and cave. Edward Stahl is quoted as saying, "From the beginning, we have had those individuals who have become known as the faithful few. Some are gone, some remain, and when they go, others will surely take their place." This 100th convention in 2023 is dedicated to all ARBA members, past and present, with Edward Stahl's faithful few pioneers making this gathering possible. We are creating history today. Let us enjoy this time, remember our past, and be a positive influence for the future of the American Rabbit Breeders Association.
The Louisville Convention of 2008, 23,076 animals. This year, 2023, over 24,300 animals. Thank you to all the judges yesterday. We judged over 22,000 animals in one day. Before I introduce our judges, I want to thank our sponsors for Open Rabbit Fest and Show. Heinolf Feeds, KW Cage, PM Graphics, ManaPro, and Western Skies Hay, and the ARBA. Best in Show winner will receive $1,000 from Heinolf Feeds, a $500 gift card from KW Cage, a special award sponsored by PM Graphics. Their name will be engraved on the perpetual Fibber Cup, and the winning rabbit will receive a year's supply of hay from Western Skies Hay. Our group winners will each receive $500 from ManaPro and an award from the ARBA. To help commemorate the 100th ARBA convention, each Best of Breed winner not selected for a higher award during Best in Show will receive $100 sponsored by Heinolf Feeds. You don't say anything, I won't, because our judges are secluded in a hermetically sealed, soundproof booth. Our first judge, group number 1. His highlight for him is judging in a convention with his mentors in attendance. He is from Oregon. His judge's number is 729. He's Ted E. Loyola. Our Group 2 judge. He's been judging for 29 years. A highlight of his judging career is oftentimes the smaller shows where he can really connect with the membership. This week has been absolutely one of the best or most momentous. He is deeply humbled and honored, and he thanks you for this selection. Judge 656 and my friend, Joel Marshall. Group number 3. He's from St. Paul, Minnesota. The highlight of his judging career is being selected by the exhibitors to judge the Best in Show group 4 out of the last 6 years. Judges number 950, Cole Rubrick. Group number 4, he's been an ARBA judge since 2007. One of his proudest moments was seeing the Latino Netherland Dwarves become recognized in 2022. His judge's number is 854. He is from Huntington Beach, California, Mr. Alan Messick.
No, that. Yeah, no, I need to get that one as a phone call. That's what I thought. No. one's inside a cage. Group 4. I love this one. There's a little dumpster. It's a I know it's really unlikely, but I just want to rare breed to me. I don't think I'll get to see that really. I also don't know how long I'm gonna live. Oh, I'm reserving show. That's nice. It's only a few. You can't be an expert at anything. It's just not possible. I mean, at least there's not. That's what I do.
I like when it really shows off their loins.
I'm not sure if I actually do it as a full weight or anyway. I just don't know it. It's still opposing.
As long as the judge is consistent with how they post everything. That's all.
I want to thank our sponsors once again, Fine Old Feeds, KWKH, PM Graphics, Mana Pro, Western Skies Hay, and the ARBA. Mr. Ted, I'm not going to try that again.
All right, guess we're supposed to make this short and sweet. This year's my group winner, number 1, is American Sable.
Well, since he didn't use very much time, I'm going to take up what time he did. It's a fun fact. Fun fact, Warren Reynolds and Ivan Miller were the ones that gave me my judge's test. It was kind of interesting. My mom and dad were John and Jan Marshall, and it was James Rabbitry. They didn't want to change the Rabbitry name, so me and my brother, John Marshall and Joel Marshall, you save money on the sign. I still have that Purina sign with James Rabbitry. It's pretty cool. So I'm deeply I'm deeply humbled and honored. One thing that I think we forget sometimes in the aspect of our hobby is not ourselves winning, but our biggest win is replacing ourselves for the next generation. And that means our youth. Our youth are paramount. Thank you very much. My winner is a silver mark.
I promise I'll be shorter than what Joel was as far as talking goes. But truly honored and humbled to be here to pick Group 3. Whether this is your first convention or you've been showing for 7 decades, like Tex Thomas, I found out today, has been to 7 decades worth of conventions throughout his life, which is pretty impressive. Make sure when you... I challenge you all before you go home, meet someone new. Introduce yourself to someone new. Volunteer for something, be kind to each other, thank the volunteers that put the show on, and I hope everyone drive home safe and has a great rest of convention. Your best of Group 3 is the American Fuzzy.
Thank you very much for this honor. It's always a treat, and it's like the Oscars for rabbit judges. So, thank you for my Oscar. I'm going to make it short. I just want to say it was a wonderful week being here with all my friends and my rabbit family, my KB family. We have a really amazing thing going here, and we're very, very fortunate people. Group 4 winner is the Jersey Bully.
2021 convention was held right here in Louisville. It was a very emotional best in show. It was just before convention we lost one of our members, Doug Harrell. This year we celebrate not just him with our continued support of this hobby, which he so dearly loved. We're also going to honor someone and congratulate him for a career well deserved. This is going to be tough, Glenn. Mr. Glenn Carr is going to be our best in show judge. He's judged since 1964, 59 years. He's a Hall of Fame member, American KB Breeders Association member, American Checker Giant member, American Triumph Club. He's served as ARBA Secretary, Executive Director for 22 years, Vice President for 3 years, Director for 3 years. He is judged in all 50 states, and there is nobody better at this job, Mr. Glenn Carr.
is our 100th anniversary of the ARBA, a great moment for all of us. We're making history here today. Many of you young people will go home 30, 40, 50 years from now. You're going to remember this day. Let's give this group a wonderful round of applause. Personally, I don't have words just to say thank you. I've been very, very fortunate that I've been able to do this over the last few years. I'm always proud that every judge is proud of their license number. The longer you have it, that's great. And I'm very fortunate that I've been able to do this all these years, and I've learned, had so many memories, so many friends. What a great hobby and a great life I've had. I just don't have words to say anything more than thank you for all your support. Four beautiful animals up here. I was kidding the judges when we were in sequester back there for the last, we'll never mind about that, but anyway, I said pick a good one. I have four beautiful rabbits back here. All four of them deserve being there. Today it's going to be the American Fuzzy Line.
Okay.